Wrong, brother. You know what DBDR needs? You know what he needs? We've been talking about, sex bots, AI girlfriends. I don't think he'd be too cynical for all that, you know? He'd be too cynical. He'd be like, nah, bro. It's over, bro. That would be stupid, bro. They're going to become self-aware and then they're going to be needy. I was listening to this guy, Sandman. He had it all worked out. What he needs like a mother. He needs like a parent. So what I would recommend, Sandman, what I would recommend to you, I would say you got to get yourself a cougar. You got to get into the cougar mindset, the cougar grind set, the cougar set, if you will. That's what you got to get in here. So I stumbled across this lady. I don't even know how the fuck I ended up finding cougar videos, but I found them while looking up, I think, a few things about like the AIs, the AI girlfriends. So there's this woman here. She's been at it for quite some time, okay? So she's been doing this for about 2 years, okay? She is a professional cougar. Now that she has a YouTube channel, she's taken it, she's taken her knowledge, her wisdom, and she goes out there and she advocates for the cougar lifestyle and young men getting into cougars, representing the fetish. Let me see here. Cougar Tales, Cat Guy, Cougar Dating, Where to Meet Older Women. So this would be relevant to our boy DBDR. Where would he meet some of these cougars? Big Tom says he needs a waifu. He does. Maybe you should get a cougar waifu. A real waifu. Put the pillow away. So here's an older woman. I think she's in her 50s, perhaps. Uh-oh.
Older women. When I started this channel, hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'd like to talk to you guys about how to meet older women. When I started this channel, it was really geared towards women wanting to date younger men, because I'm really, encouraging older women like myself to date younger men, because there's a whole lot of reasons to date younger men. I mean, like the sex, availability, connection, you're cutting.
That's actually, it's not for connection. It's for the exact opposite. It's for no strings attached. But I appreciate that she's reaching across the aisle. She's going to, expose some of the secrets of the cougar. And for somebody like DBDR, this is important info. This is Dave Hodges style good info.
No, I got to start this off with a red alert, red alert, red alert.
Out a whole lot of people, whom you could be having a relationship with. But I noticed that a lot of my followers happen to be young guys wanting to meet older women. I know that all men, I don't care who you are, I feel like all men want the cougar experience. So this video is for you guys. The first place where
I'm not gonna lie, as a guy, I am more into women from the ages of like 28 to 40. That's my deal. So maybe, if I hadn't gotten married, if I hadn't met somebody around my same age, maybe I would have been headed to Cougar Town myself. I wouldn't, this lady may be a little bit too normie old. She doesn't look like the MILFs in the pornos that I used to jerk off to. What's going on here? This is madness. But, there was a time maybe I could have learned a thing or two. I'm trying to think. Did I ever have the cougar experience? Yeah, I think like once. One time I had the cougar experience. I was in my very early 20s. And I slept with like a 38-year-old woman. And then I kind of dated a woman when I was like 19. That was like 28. So yeah. That's as close as I've gotten to Cougar Town.
You can meet older women is absolutely, of course, on dating apps. Now, I'm on Bumble, Tinder, and Facebook dating, although I haven't had too much luck with Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook dating. What are you doing, lady? That's what old people use. You have exposed yourself. That's what old people do.
Facebook dating, because apparently most of my friends have ugly friends. Man, who knew, man? Because slightly disappointed about that one. But yes, you can meet older women on dating apps. The key to meeting older women is you've got to have a good profile. I just did a video all about profiles. I mean, you've got to have a good initial profile shot. Don't be negative. Tell us what your passions are, and don't.
What if your passions are just like, old pussy? You know what I mean? What if that's your passion?
Have any pictures of
Can we be that direct, ma'am?
dead animals, fish, or a gym mirror shot, and then have a catch line, and that's pretty much it. And please do not
I mean,
write.
she's definitely describing the man she wants. If we're noticing her ensemble here, camouflage. Camouflage. Okay? She wants you to take her to the hootenanny. She wants you to take her to some sort of cowboy club. They have clubs, kind of like, regular, more traditionally urban clubs. Well, they have those for people that like to LARP as cowboys. So you have people that like to LARP as gangsters, going to certain clubs. You have people that like to LARP as cowboys, going to other clubs. There's clubs like that around where I live. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. It was like the Saddle or something like that. Gotta hop in the saddle. And they have it all. They got country music. They got bars. They have mechanical bulls. Not a euphemism. Although someday it could be. If we get there into the sex bot future.
Right, that you have a fetish for older women, or mom bods is where it's at. Any of that stuff. Because nothing spells creeper to me or to any other woman than reading something or somebody's profile that says, I have a fetish for older women. Like that.
Yeah, but that's what it would be. Like, they're not. The only reason why they would want to date you is if they have a fetish. You might as well just put it out there. This is going to save you guys a ton of time. You just get down to brass tacks here. You're looking for boy toys. You're not looking for husbands, clearly. You're not looking to marry one of these young cubs. At least I don't imagine that she is. Maybe that's presumptuous of me. Maybe she's out there just looking for the right boy so that she can take care of. Maybe she's looking for her DBDR. Somebody that she can fix. Somebody that she can save. Somebody should send her some videos, If DBDR had a dating profile, it would definitely be like the subheading would be like, it's over, bro.
That's not why I'm here. That's not why any woman's here. We don't want to satisfy your fetish. So please don't write that. The second place where you can meet women is through clubs.
I'm sorry, but yes, you do. You 100% want to satisfy a fetish because that's what this is. This is what you're talking about here. I understand people have like proclivities and preferences, but usually it's a fetish. Like if people are into the whole MILF situation and cougarism as a thing, it's probably a sexual fetish. I'm just saying, even just technically. Now, I agree with her. Do they need to put that in their profile? No. But they should have some sort of international symbol, They how swingers have pineapples? What should young men that are into cougars, what should their thing be? Like a cougar holding a teddy bear. Some kind of emoji. So that she would know. How else are you going to know then? You just shoot your shot constantly? Why just cut through the red tape, cut through the bullshit. You got to put all these outside influences, you got to put all that stuff aside. Just be yourself. Be a sex pest.
The older women. Now, of course, you're not going to want to join a knitting club or something like that. I mean, you want to attract older women who are active, like me. You don't want to attract an older woman who's like,
You could want a grandma. You could want a gilf. How dare you stand in judgment and tell me what I do and do not want, ma'am?
Hobbling through the grocery store. So join a running club, a motorcycle club.
What are you talking about? She knows what the melons are good. You know, she goes to the produce section, she grabs a cantaloupe, feels all over it. This is very useful, especially if you really like cantaloupe. You know, it's nature's candy, by the way. They'll pick you the perfect one. Maybe it'll take 20, 30 minutes to find the perfect one, but, you know, nothing, no effort put forth, nothing gained.
A bicycle club, a gardening club. There's a lot of women in gardening club, wine tasting clubs. Heck yeah. You'll meet a lot of women in the wine tasting clubs. Or even I belong to a club here in San Antonio where we meet up at various restaurants, and you know, we try new places and try new restaurants for their food and drinks. So join a club like that. And then also, I mean, you really could meet older women anywhere. I mean, I don't have any problems meeting younger men at Home Depot, at Lowe's, at the grocery store, at Target.
She must be like, I wonder if she's very like aggressive and forward. You know, because her first thought when she was making these videos, she's like, I'm making these for women. This is advice for women. But she realized that it's mostly dudes watching it. So I wonder when she's out in public if she's like very aggressive. Like she will approach a young guy. Because I feel like, you know, just looking at this woman, I'm not going to say that a younger guy couldn't find her passively attractive, but it wouldn't be normal for a younger guy to approach somebody like this. So I feel like she would have to, you know, make the opening move. She'd have to hit the starter gun for this flirtatious situation. She must be always like, you got a cute butt. You think she's that kind of chick? That kind of old lady? She might be.
Dog parks. Dog parks are huge. You know, you're going to see a lot of women walking their dog in the dog park. And if you have a dog, you know, it's so easy. You could just strike up a conversation and say, oh, what a cute dog you have. What kind of dog is it? If you're at Home Depot, say, oh, what are you working?
Oh my God. What kind of dog do you have? Do you like, you into summer, autumn relationships, boy? Yeah, you like that? Why are you talking to me about my dog? You want to fuck me, don't you?
Working on? What's your favorite paint color? Or which plants do you think are best in full sunlight? I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, you will have to strike up a conversation, and if you're an introvert, it's going to be kind of tough. But as Matthew Hussey said in one of his videos, and I absolutely agree with him, men have lost the art of initiating conversations with women, and that's just something that you're going to have to work on. And if you can, and if you have that ability to create a conversation or strike up a conversation with a woman, well, then you're like light years ahead of all the men out there. The next
Hagrid says, quote unquote, do you know how to clean out pipes? Hey now. Yeah, it's also funny, like if you're like an introvert neurotic dude, you like seduce this woman to come to your house just like to call the plumber for you. Can you do some mommy stuff for me? Could you sit outside the doctor's office? I gotta get my prostate checked. I like to start these things early. Thanks, Mom. I mean, Karen.
Place where you can meet women is there's gonna be somewhere in your city where older women hang out. I mean, I live here in San Antonio, Texas, and older women hang out at the Pearl or at certain restaurants like Silo or Piatti's, so there's gonna be certain restaurants that are known cougar hangouts in your city. So you just have to figure out where those hangouts are and then go there.
Maybe they should have a system, where they like put a different colored sock out of their back pocket or hanging out of their purse or something. Something to identify what kind of cougar you are. What are you into? I feel like we just gotta be very practical. It's just like, this is a cougar we're talking about. They got only so much life left to live. Thankfully, hopefully they're over menopause. That's when you start seeing real returns with the cougar situation. You want to get one that's post-menopause and you can just dump it. Yeah. Everybody's happy. Especially DBDR.
there, and then you'll hopefully meet some older women. You can also meet women, or you can also meet older women through your friends. No, not your mom, because she's probably gonna get mad, but you probably like know somebody. You might know an older woman at work. Maybe, I don't know, if you're going to college, you might know an older woman at school. Maybe some of your friends have some older women at their work.
What are people going to think if you start approaching them? Your friends, your family? Well, she said not the mom. Let's leave mom out of this. But your friends, your coworkers, and you just start needling them about like, yo, where are all the older women at? Listen, I'm just looking to get my dick sucked. Okay, where those old ladies be at? Come on now.
Nasty bastard. As soon as I pee on me, comes.
Now that right there is a cougar.
I probably wouldn't go for any of your mom's friends because she's probably not going to like that. But you could definitely meet some older women through friends. So there you have it. Those are the top 5 places to meet older women. Until next time, happy hunting.
Happy hunting? What is this, hard target? Is this the most dangerous game? Happy hunting out there, boys. I hope you get to come. Let me see here. What other experience could she maybe, what other wisdom does she have for us? So, Cougar Tails the bear. Sex with younger men versus older men. Oh my goodness. Well, you know she's going to have a preference for younger men. That's her whole thing. Manhandling. What does it mean? Cougar Tails, Instagram guy. Man, she gets around. She's living life. She's having adventures. She could be Instagram guy. She's meeting guys off of Instagram. Dude, she wants it bad. She wants it bad. Make no mistake. Because that's, she's being dangerous. She's being dangerous. Let's talk trans sex. What the fuck is that? Is she what? She's like, listen, I'm open to new experiences. You got to just settle for... There's a lot of middle-aged trans women out there that need to get their bussies stuffed. This is what's going to happen to Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney is going to grow into a trans woman cougar. And that's when that pussy's going to get destroyed. Depression over. New life. It's going to be good.
Let's talk trans sex.
Jeez, lady, let's talk mixing your videos. Jesus fucking Christ.
Everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to talk to you about a debate I actually had with one of my fellow subscribers. And he messaged me on Instagram. Originally, it was about advice on dating cougars, but then he let me know that he started dating a trans female. He sent me photos of her. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely.
She totally passed. The tuck. The tuck was good.
Gorgeous. And he said, I consider her a female. She identifies as a female. And he would just ask me like just random advice, like, how can he have protective sex with her? How can he kindly or in a respectful way?
How to have protected sex with her? You wear a condom. You fuck her butt. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm not a professional. I've never tasted the forbidden fruit there, the trans fruit. No puns intended. So I wouldn't know. I imagine that's how it goes down, especially considering most of these mentally ill people do not get any types of surgeries.
Tell her to shave her anal area because sometimes she would let the hair grow out too long. So I would just give him advice on that. But throughout our entire conversation, he kept saying, well, she's really a girl, or she identifies as a girl. She's really a girl. And at one point I just said, dude, you're...
She's really a girl. She's really a girl. Now make sure that your asshole is shaved so it's smooth and I don't feel weird about it.
You're bi. And he said, no, I'm straight. And I'm like, well, no, you're not. You're bi because although she's a female from the waist up, she's a guy. I mean, if you're...
she's throwing down the gauntlet, dude. She believes in biological reality. Oh man, watch out, Cougar Town. Watch out, Cougar. The Cougar experience.
You're having sex with her and you look down and you see a cock and balls and you're still excited, well, then you're bi. And so he just kept saying, no, that's not true, because I look at her as a female. Like, I only have anal sex with her. I don't massage or stroke her penis. Or
It's like, I don't touch it. I say, get that thing away from me. Get it out of here. That thing's dead. I know it's dead to me. I know it's dead, but it's also dead to me.
balls. I don't give her head. I don't do any of that stuff. So he's like, I'm straight. I'm like, I just kept arguing with him saying, no, you're bisexual. So finally he just says, well, if I start dating natural females, will I be straight? And I had to tell him, no, you're always going to be bisexual. Like, you've proven that you're a bisexual. And he just kept arguing with me saying, well, if I only fuck natural females from now on, I'm straight, right? And I kept saying, no, you're bisexual. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the trans movement and trans sex. So back when I was taking Psychology 101, there was only two types of trans. You were either a transvestite, where you dressed as a member of the opposite sex, or you were a transsexual, where you actually went through the sex change operation and you had your genitals.
Which is what most people now are, just transvestites, or as we know, autogynephiliacs. It is just like a transvestite. It's more of a fetish. That's probably like 99% of the cases currently cropping up in the world today.
Switch from, whatever you had at birth to the opposite sex. Nowadays, there's just trans, where people are just staying in between. Like, for instance, a male wants to identify as a female, so he has breast augmentation.
She says, for instance, as if that is not the predominant thing that happens in that community and the only thing anybody cares about. But you're not going to get it past the Cougar experience. She's like, not for me, pal, okay? I'm no lesbian.
He takes hormones. He looks like a female from the waist up, but from the waist down, he's a man. Same thing for females who want to identify as males. They get their breasts removed, they take testosterone, they start growing facial hair. I've seen some females to males who have like the butterfly muscles right here, but they don't ever fully transition. And I completely understand, because when you do fully transition, your ability to have an orgasm is greatly reduced. It's almost nearly impossible.
She's like, I don't blame you, dude, but you know what? Listen, let's put kids on hormone blockers and let them make these decisions very young. Well, of course I support trans kids. I wouldn't fuck them, though. Big Tom says, or it's college kids having their countercultural rebellious period. Definitely have a few of those types of trans. Yeah, but that would kind of fall under that. Like, even if it is social contagion, it becomes, to one degree or another, like a fetishistic. Because something you do for attention, it doesn't necessarily have to be completely for sexual gratification, but it's a shortcut to lots and lots of attention. And what do people love these days? They want to feel special, unique. It's the new trend, even though everyone around them is doing that, the same thing. It's a weird social phenomenon. They still think they're also just as special. Like, they don't want to be left out of being special. It's something that happens, I think, to a lot of like neurotic, narcissistic people.
Possible at times. So I get it, who doesn't want to have an orgasm? But the whole point of the trans term is you're transitioning from something to something else.
Yeah, I kind of appreciate the innocence of this and how very basic it is and how straightforward she is. She's like, no, you're gay. Sorry, buddy.
So now there is no trans. You're just in between. It's okay to be in between. Just be happy with who you are. Be happy with your body. But when you're dating somebody or you're having sex with somebody who's trans and they still have their original genitalia,
equipment,
you're bisexual. There's no ands, ifs about it. There's no debate about it. So back in my psychology class, we actually did an experiment.
This lady thinks she's like, helping this dude out, but what she's really doing, maybe even subconsciously she's doing it, she's putting him on blast. She's like, I don't like that you put up a stink and that you argued with me, and now I'm going to put you on fucking blast. You know who you are. Most of our community knows who you are. Watch out, pal. Don't cross the cougar experience. Don't do it, buddy.
There was an experiment where they took, it was like 1,000 heterosexual males, they blindfolded them, and they had them touched by men and women. So when they were blindfolded, they didn't know who was touching them, so they were aroused. Now, when they took their blindfolds off, when the heterosexual males were being touched by other males, they didn't get aroused. And when they were being touched by females, they were aroused. If you're consciously aware that you're having sex with a biological male or and you're a man, you're bisexual. If you're consciously having sex,
she's gonna watch out. She's gonna get canceled because this is that whole thing. What is it? Lance from the Surfs TV. Lance, when he was debating with Tim Pool. Didn't he go on Tim Pool? And there was like, I remember seeing the clip floating around of him being like, "Is having sex with a trans woman gay?" And he said no. And Tim was like, "No, it means you're gay, or at least bisexual." And he's like, "No, it doesn't, because that's a woman." The same cognitive dissonance this guy is experiencing. Like, I don't know, man. If you're butt fucking somebody and they got a dick flopping around, I'm just saying, no judgment, but I'm just saying you might be a little gay.
With a biological female and you're a female, then you're bisexual. There's no debate about it. So we just kept going on, and I just decided to stop debating with him. But I just wanted to throw that out there. I wanted to see what y'all's thoughts were.
I just wanted to throw that out there for no reason. I mean, I understand that it is kind of a, it's a topic. It's a topical thing. 5.3K. So that's just kind of big numbers for her, because I think normally, let's see what her average videos are. Okay, she does pretty okay. For this size audience, she has 15K of subs. And most of her videos are around 20,000, 7,000. On the lower end, 2,000. That's pretty good engagement. It's pretty good engagement. Let's be real. Let's be fair to the cougar experience. I don't want to get on her bad side. She might make a video about me. Tell me I'm gay. What was I going to do? I was going to do something. Why did I look? I don't remember why I tabbed back into this. All right. So, we got one more cougar. Oh, well, we do have two things we could watch. We got one more like cougar vlog thing. And then we got this is I guess a trend right now. Cougarism is coming back. It's coming back in style. That's why DBDR, he's got to get into this. He's got to be part of this magic. We got to get Harley on the phone right away. Tell him about cougars. Tell him about cougars. So this one is just this lady who has a YouTube channel. It's called The Debbie Moore. It says, barefaced and ready for bed with a cougar. July 3rd, Nightmare with a Creep. This is from a few years ago. I don't think she still makes videos. I think she stopped a couple years ago. But apparently this was just, one of these OG cougar ladies of the internet, of YouTube. She's trying to start a cougar influencer channel. Well, let's see.
Hi everyone, this is Deborah without any makeup on. I think I wore my grandson out on the boardwalk. Of course,
I hope that's not a euphemism.
I'll pay for it later, but I just took off all my makeup. But a lot of my subscribers think that I'm obese, so this is a first time that I'm going to show you that I'm not. Okay, so I put my tripod over here in the corner so I don't have...
Is she going to jump on the bed? Like, see? Minimal jiggle. Minimal waves. Minimal waves.
To hold it. So I'm going to show you, subscribers, that I'm not obese. I'm very well rounded. So here we go. See? There you go. Oh,
Yeah, she's just, she's kind of a thick girl, that's all. People on the internet are so mean. They're so mean. Calling her fat and shit. Making her feel that way. Gaslighting her in this way. Unacceptable. But I guess, listen, if you want to be one of these cougar influencers, a la the Cougar Experience, you got to take the heat. You got to take the heat sometimes.
okay. Now the mystery has been solved. My trip down here was very horrendous. It rained cats and dogs for at least
Oh shit, is this die antinatalist?
2.5 hours, and I was white knuckling it going across that Chesapeake Bay Bridge. So I got to eat at this new restaurant on the boardwalk called Guido's. It was wonderful. I'm going to post a video about it. The manager came by, and I told him that my favorite Mexican restaurant is Mother's Cantina, and he goes, his best friend owns it. So
Oh my god. Good story. Brissinger says thick as fuck. It happens. McDonald's aristocrats.
yeah, here I am barefaced, and like I said, my grandson is out like trout, and I got some fudge on the
So it's a good thing he's out, because I got a lot of OnlyFans content to make tonight. I've got some cucumbers and some bananas, some first time things for me. I hope I don't get a urinary tract infection.
boardwalk. It's just a tradition that I have. And let's see, what else did we do? We people watched, and so we got 3 or 4 more days here. And my grandson says, Nanny, why are you trying to do it all in one night? Well, that's just me. I have joy
I am a crazy bitch. I'm a crazy bitch.
de vivre. I have the joy of life, because I may not be here tomorrow. So yeah, just to cleanse my
Oh my god, she's like Barbie, but 5 years ago. You guys ever think about death?
face, took off all my makeup, and let's see, I think I bought this necklace at Ron John's. I think it's around 60th Street in Ocean City. So I still haven't.
Oh, that's why I found this lady, because she's from Maryland. And it made me laugh, because my wife is from Maryland. She is a very Maryland lady, though. Having spent some time up there, this is a very authentic Marylander.
Ate at Paisano's. They had the best steak and cheese on the boardwalk. Now there's 2 Paisanos, so don't confuse them. They both are owned by the same people, but the Paisanos that I go to is nearest.
And I love, I know bullshit. Actually, it's ironically, my grandmother lives in Maryland as well. Older woman, much older than this lady. She's in her 80s. And she's originally from Pennsylvania, but she lives in Maryland now. And this is exactly what it's like talking to her. This exact thing. I think if I were to be in the market for a cougar, I would probably have to pass on Debbie, because it's going to trigger some sort of trauma, some PTSD of me having to listen to my grandma have this conversation with me. She's really more talking at me. But God, the similarities are insane. The kind of the sporadic nature of this is kind of insane. The neurotic nature of it is kind of insane. And we've gone from proving the haters wrong to where she bought this necklace. Fucking incredible. It's incredible.
The Ripleys, believe it or not. Yeah, so where I'm staying at is called Port and Starboard's Apartments. So that's P-O-R-T-N as in Nancy, S-T-A-R-B-O-A-R-D.
Like, imagine if you're her paramour or whatever you want to call it. It's not a paramour if it's a guy, is it? If you're her boyfriend, if you're her cub, her young boyfriend, and she's on vacation with her grandson, took him to Ocean City, but you guys want to call at the end of the night, this is the conversation you would have. I mean, I'm telling you, if you're willing to put up with that, it's definitely a fetish.
apts.com, and I am in number 5, and
What are you doing?
has AC, of course, has TV in the living room and in my bedroom. And in the morning we are going to 17th Street, which is the best breakfast, Anthony's.
Okay. All right. I don't know how much I can. I mean, I guess she's a vlogger. You know, she's talking about her life. Let's see here. The Debbie Moore videos. She's still making videos. She's still making a lot of stuff. What I learned after 60 dates, pros and cons of HOAs and condos, she changed her look. Yeah, when she must have gotten more serious into her cougardom. She's like, I gotta, if you want to catch flies, you gotta lay on the honey. So what I learned after 60 dates, I mean, she's an older lady. Instead of settling down, she has these other things, right? She has a family. She has a grandson. It's kind of unfortunate that she's found herself, by whatever circumstance, whatever means, found herself in this place where you're running through like 60 other human beings to try to maintain some sort of sense of purpose and value. Big Tom says, better be color TV with HBO or I'm out.
Hi everyone, this is Deborah. This is my last video of the month, so I thought I would go ahead and do it, even though I'm visiting my sister in Woodbridge.
Man, she's a traveler. So we watched that other video. Other video was from 5 years ago. 5 years ago. We're fast forwarding to a few weeks ago. This woman loves to travel.
I come to see her once a month, which is good. She has a new grandbaby, and I like playing with her. But this video is all the things I've learned about dating since my divorce, and even before my divorce, because my to-be ex-husband had put in that I wasn't allowed to spend more than 3 nights with a guy, or he would not pay alimony. Well, I don't even get alimony anymore.
I mean, they actually, it's crazy when you do these kinds of things like divorce agreements, etc. They can put crazy stipulations. I actually know somebody right now that's going through something with relative to getting divorced from somebody, and they have like these really stringent, crazy stipulations for like being able to see other people and things like they have like curfews and shit. It's pretty wild. And we're talking about like adults, not talking about children. We're talking about adults. It's pretty crazy.
I haven't gotten alimony in like 8 years, which I thought was funny and very biased, because he had women living with him even before the ink was dry on anything. Yeah. So,
if there's one thing about Deborah, it's that she knows how to pick them.
I thought that was ironic. Yeah, he even, when I got served the divorce papers, he said I had to pay him alimony. Oh my God. I don't think he was too happy when he found out I got disability from Social Security. Yeah. So.
I love this. These little passive-aggressive overshares. Hey, at least her sister doesn't have to hear about it again. She's getting it out of her system right now.
These are some of the things that I have learned. Number 1, expect anything. No, expect nothing. That's what I meant. Expect nothing. The guys, one of the biggest red flags is they'll want you to go to their house on the first date. They want to fix you a steak. They want to fix you a meal. Don't do it, girls. No guy.
She's like, after it happened 45 times to me, I finally figured out I finally figured out they were just doing it so we would have sex. Did I have sex with them? Of course, every single one of them. I was at their house. But the thing is, don't go there in the first place.
Worth a grain of salt should ever ask you to come to his house. Or they'll want to pick you up. Do not ever let a guy pick you up. You take your own car and try to hide the car so they don't even...
she's kind of paranoid. She's she's watched a lot of like true crime, I feel. She's watched a lot of true crime shows. She's like, you're not gonna get me, serial killer.
See where you're parking at. I had one guy actually follow me in Colonial Beach. It's just not a good, it's not a good thing. It's not safe at all. So also you'll find out, I've had, I think, 2 or 3 guys never even asked the waitress what I wanted to drink. Never even, they ordered him a meal, but not me. And I think the first time that happened, I actually got up and I go, what kind of a gentleman are you? You know, he goes, oh, see, some of the men don't think.
This is incredible. This is amazing. She's a new favorite of mine. She got standards, okay? Holy shit, 60 dates. So she divorced her husband 8 years ago. From at least from the time she started this YouTube channel, which is about 5 or 6 years ago, she doesn't seem like she's had a steady companion. Is that 60 dates spread out over 5 years? I wonder what the spread is here. 60 dates. 12 dates a year, once a month, average. Actually, you know, that does seem kind of high. I was thinking of like, well, that's not too bad, but you know what? That is kind of high. That's kind of high. 60 people? My goodness. You must be real choosy.
Either they've never dated before, they don't know the protocol. It's like, I don't know, it's like they're in 4th grade again. You have to like tell them. And a couple of them almost like started crying. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
See, the life of a cougar. Okay, ladies. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Okay? You have to wipe these kids' asses.
A lot of the guys will want to put their tongue down your throat. Don't do that either. A lot of them will want to cup a feel. I had one guy said, well, if you're not going to see me again, can I, cup of, like squeeze my tits? Oh.
Well, I guess there's a practical guy. There's a pragmatist. Well, since we're never going to see each other again, mind if I get squeeze the merchandise?
Oh my God. Because I'm driving a brand new red Ferrari. Doesn't that like impress you? I go, no. I mean, they are just senseless. And be prepared for them to talk your ear off for 2 hours. I will never do that again. I think I dated somebody, it was earlier this spring, and all he did was talk about his ex. That's going to happen to you a lot. And I actually had the nerve.
That's what happens when you look like people's mothers. I don't know. That's what I'm just thinking. I'm thinking a lot of this cougar stuff. I know that the cougar experience would take issue with this, but I think for a lot of young guys, it's a little bit of a fetish. Some of it is wrapped up in mother shit.
To say, what's my name? What have you found out about me in the 2 hours we've been sitting here? I know all about your ex, though. You have to educate these guys.
She reminds me of that dating teacher from that Vice show that we watched a couple weeks ago. That's kind of what she has, those kinds of similar vibes.
Guys, they don't know. They really need to go on the internet and get some dating hints. They really do. Let's see, what else do they do? They will try to get you intoxicated. They'll buy you drink after drink after drink.
Oh my
One
God.
guy says, well, I bought you 3 beers. You're going to come back.
I wonder how long she was married. If she was married to the same dude for a very long period of time, now she's a much older woman. having to come out and kind of deal with all of this kind of shit for the first time in her life. It's kind of like that movie with Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone, Blast from the Past. She's like Brendan Fraser, but only with like when it comes to dating. She's so old-fashioned, and she has no sense of what modern people are like. She was married from like 1972 to 2020. I wonder if it's something like that.
Back to my apartment, aren't you? I go, no. I could buy my own beer if I want, you know. So, see, what else do they do? Oh, one guy brought a gun and brought it into the restaurant and wanted to show me. Oh, they try to impress you.
Listen, at least you would know. Hold on. At least you would know that you're going to be protected. You know, she was talking about being a little paranoid, a little squirrely, about meeting these guys, about letting them go to her house or pick her up from her house or her going to their house. She's a little paranoid about that. So you got a guy and he shows you the piece. Shows you a piece, lets you know that if anybody gets up to any nonsense, he's got your back. He's got your back.
For sure. But they impress you in all the wrong ways. Let's see, what else? Oh, they don't know how to dress. One guy wore Crocs and I was wearing...
Sorry, that was me. Jeans and Crocs, huh? Sorry, Debbie.
Stilettos, you know.
Actually, I did. You know, I went back in the day. It was like right before Tinder was a thing. I think I had I tried eHarmony because I didn't know anybody where I lived, and I wasn't. I was pipelining at the time, so I wasn't like local. So I was like, oh, I'll try to meet a girl online. And me just not even really thinking about it. I kind of dressed semi-casually. Like I looked nice. I looked like sharp, but I kind of just wore like jeans and some nice sneakers and a t-shirt. And the girl, when I showed up, the girl was like dressed up substantially more than that. And relative to all the places we ended up going to like a couple bars. We're like kind of bar hopping after we ate some dinner. Like all of the dudes out there, it's Friday night. They're all wearing like button-up shirts and all this kind of shit. And I've never been like that. And so I kind of just like stuck out like a sore thumb. Needless to say that did not work out. That did not work out. I don't recommend wearing, although very nice, a movie-related t-shirt. You go meet girls for the first time. I guess you're supposed to wear button-ups or whatever. You're supposed to look like a real fucking dork. Thank God I didn't even have to do that. I didn't even wear a suit when I got married. I didn't wear a tuxedo when I got married. I dressed like Ash from Army of Darkness. No bullshit. No bullshit. That's what I got married wearing. Wearing the costume for Ash from Army of Darkness. Pretty cool. We had a Halloween wedding.
One guy wanted me to... I went to his house in Clifton, and I had been on like 4 dates with him, and he was unloading my suitcase, and he put my suitcases in his bedroom, and I said, get him out of there.
What? When was the last time this lady had dates? She's, I'll give her credit though. Credit where credit's due. You have your standards, you have your things. She's like, no, I'm just coming to sleep over. I'm not coming here to fuck you. Put those in the guest bedroom, sir. That's pretty fucking hysterical.
There. You live in a mansion, you put me in a spare bedroom. Yeah, you really have to tell them.
Man, money really must not be a thing for her. Or maybe she's just like one of these very unique people that she's just like so particular. There's no other considerations. Like she's not trying to be a gold digger. She's not looking for anything in particular from a person other than they fall into this very narrow criteria of the perfect man. 60 dates, guys.
How to treat you. And you shouldn't have to do that. Let's see, what else? Going to the movies is not a good first date because you can't talk to each other. a lot of guys. My very first date, we went to Panera Bread. He asked me to marry him on the first date. He's still on my Facebook. Yeah.
God, he's still on my Facebook, lurking, just waiting for me to lower my inhibitions a little bit, lower my standards just a smidge. He's gonna make it. He's gonna get his way back in there. He's gonna buy her a Subway sub, and he's gonna put the ring in the Subway sub. It's gonna be like a little thing they'll remember forever.
He asked me to marry him on the first date. He says, "You're the girl I've always been dreaming of." Oh my God. Yeah, I won't go into any more of that, but if a guy is really stingy, I had I was actually engaged. I told him I needed a washcloth to take, showers. I was engaged to him. And he would not spend the 64 cents for a Walmart washcloth. That told me a lot about him, but he...
You found out that he was that cheap after being engaged to him. She's kind of like DBDR with his like workout regimen and diets and stuff. It's like, you got to try for more than like a couple weeks at a time. You got to try to develop something and actually get to know somebody before you can achieve the result that you may need or want. I'm just putting it out there. How did you not know he wouldn't? What? You know what? I don't believe her. I think the story, there's probably something else pretty significant to that story. Maybe she had gone through 100 of these things, and he's like, you know what? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. We have 1,000 of those back at my mansion. You couldn't think to pack one? You knew where we were going, goddammit, Deborah.
He had the most expensive toys that a guy could have. You know what I mean? Then my next fiance, I got engaged again. He told everybody in town he was going to marry me. Don't let anybody do that, because what happened was he got the word out through this small town, and so nobody else would dare, take me out on a date.
Yeah, try that in a small town. Okay? Try doing that to Deborah in a small town, I dare you.
Because they were afraid of him. Don't let anybody do that. If you don't have a ring on your finger, do not ever let anybody go around saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to marry you." No. Don't.
What you got to do is you got to call up your lawyer and send him a cease and desist letter immediately. Really put the fear of God into him.
Move in with the guy either. I would not move in with the guy. I would maybe visit or spend a couple nights, but don't move in, because one of my fiancés threw a fit.
How many?
And
How many fiancés has this woman had? How many? Jesus Christ.
Clothes in his closet and stuff, and it took a lot out of me to empty that closet, throw it in my car. And so don't put yourself in that situation. And my other fiance, I actually had put up my Christmas tree in his living room. Well, it made it very precarious to try to take down a Christmas tree, because you need to get the hell out of there for your own safety. And yeah, I would definitely pull a criminal background check on these guys.
Oh my God. She's like, what you got to do is you got to make a deal with ICE. You got to make a friend, I don't know, maybe you might have to blow him every once in a while, but make a friend. Make sure one of your ex-fiancés is a cop. Maintain a good relationship with him. Run these names through the database, at the very least.
Definitely. And a lot of them have hidden addictions. One guy went into the bathroom, and when he came back out, he had a completely different personality. He was all hyped up. I know he had...
And she's like, we had been engaged for about 3 years by the time I realized this.
Probably done some coke. I've never been around coke, nor do I want to, but I actually said, he wanted to go on a second date, and I said, no, I think you have other issues that you need to address first. So I've given up dating. It takes...
She's got a WGTOW. Women going their own way. She's going to be a revolutionary. She's going to start a movement.
Too much out of me to shave my legs, you know what I mean? It's just too much hard work. But the dating to me was a waste of time. I was always married. I got married 2 days after I turned 18. I was married for 40 years. I enjoy my...
Yeah, so she was married for 40 years. Wow. So she got divorced. I guess that would put her at 58. Damn.
alone time. I really do. And I've learned to love myself. And this is the thing, when you get out of a long relationship, you should not go right into dating until you've learned to live by yourself for 1 year.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna skip it. We're gonna kind of skip towards the end, but she's giving grandma advice, old Grammy advice. Let me tell you about the wisdom that I've picked up over time.
Even not tell anybody where they're at, you know, and that is a nightmare. I thought I had a difficult divorce, but hers was very bad.
Her husband wouldn't let her know where he was. You know, he's out with the boys. Wouldn't give her a courtesy call.
Her spouse actually took everything that they owned and spent the money, and she lost her house that she'd lived in for 35 years. I mean, and don't go into a divorce thinking, oh...
Yeah, but who initiated the divorce? That's all I'm curious about. Did you guys initiate these divorces, like, after, like, being married for, like, 40 years? You know? I guess I should count my blessings. So I'm not, like, in a relationship where I'm overly concerned about whether or not I'll still want to be with my wife. I think we're about 10 years deep. We've been together, married almost 10. Well, married 9. Been together 11. And we're okay right now. I can't imagine it. I can't foresee anything 40 years from now. I feel like I'd be too exhausted. I'd be way too tired. Or even 20 years from now, I'd be too tired to go through all that rigmarole. I mean, you got to be in a really bad spot. She doesn't seem like she would need to be in that bad of a spot. She seems very particular. Honestly, it would not shock me if we found out that her husband is the one that asked for the divorce. You know, I don't want to talk shit. I don't want to cast aspersions, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, I still want him to be my friend because you're going to hurt yourself. It's a business transaction. Don't go in there saying, oh yeah, well, we might get back together. I'm going to be really nice to him. I actually thought that. I said, and I could not believe...
Okay, this is just depressing me. Okay, so a few days after that, so she has a whole situation. I'll bring it up on the page here. She has a whole, like, a bunch of videos that are basically these kinds of advice videos. You know, just stuff about her life, her travels, going to weddings. I think she seems like she has some kids. Places she could go. Walmart and Walgreens need to be consistent. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so tempted to watch that video. They never have what I need when I need it. It's so hard to get help. Had to return something. Took me 2 hours. They wouldn't even look me in the eye. But she, like the first video we watched. So the first video we watched, her thing was to prove to the haters that she was not fat. She's not a fat lady. Even all these years later, and I'm sure it's sprinkled throughout almost all of these videos, is her deep insecurity and her self-loathing and her need for some kind of validation, I suppose. Okay, we'll watch that one. Walmart and Walgreens need to be consistent. Tom says he wants to see it. Whoa. He says he needs to see it. Well, you got it, buddy. Just for you.
Last year I went to Walmart to return some stuff, and they go, you can't return it here because you didn't buy it here. I could not believe what I was hearing. Now today I returned some stuff at my Walmart where I live.
Dude, I told you I called it. I had to return some stuff.
And I bought it at the Dumfries Walmart, and they took it back. You know, if you're going to have a policy, be consistent, right? Reminds me when I worked at Walgreens, we had to take all these tests on the computer. We were drilled over and over again. You don't violate these policies. And then just, I think the day before I quit, the pharmacist violated the policies. And I'm going, why have the policies? And it really irritated me.
She stormed out. She stormed out. Why even have these things? She's like Walter in The Big Lebowski. Am I the only one who gives a shit about the rules around here?
You know, because the customer's supposed to sign, you know, for certain meds if they were a certain class of medication. And then this lady refused to sign. So I said, then I can't help you. So what does a pharmacist do? She gets out from behind where she works, goes to the front, and signs it for her. You know,
dude, she is so much like Diane, like our girl Diane, antinatalist from Philadelphia. They could hook up. They're pretty close together. She's lives in Maryland. They could be fucking related. In fact, well, no, I think Diane's an only child, or maybe she's not. If she's not, this could be her sister, for Christ's sakes. It's the same kind of approach to everything, just about like, you know, being a stickler for the rules, etc.
oh, but this is the thing. If you have a lot of errands, don't do it on a Saturday or Sunday, because you will be stuck behind a line forever. And when you are disabled, that chronic pain kicks in really fast. And so if you do your errands like on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's a whole lot easier on you. So that's what I try to do. So
that's good advice. Listen, that's good info. That's solid advice, okay?
You know, I got to start this off with a red alert, red alert, red alert.
It's a red alert.
Instead of spending money at the car wash, I went and bought my own Armor All car wash stuff at Walgreens. Now, this is the thing. I bought a huge container last year, and my son went through it like in 2 weeks. I read the directions. It's 1 ounce per 1 gallon. So he did not read the directions and was just dumping a whole lot in there. And see, that's the thing. When you have people living with you, they're not as particular as you are. They're not as saving as you are. Because that big jug should have lasted me about 2 or 3 years. Oh my God. Yeah.
Holy shit. She's got a lot going on, man. She's got a lot going on. She's busy. Her son, who must be, I'm assuming he's an adult, like he must be. He lives with her. Doesn't respect the rules of the house. I mean, he's got to be like 40. This does not speak well to her son. Not speak well to his level of intelligence, okay? You know where he probably works?
He's nothing but a ghoul and a goblin who works at the basement.
You know her son works at the basement.
See, if it's not their money, they don't really care. So, if I sit in this parking lot at Walmart and I see these elderly men, only 1 out of 100 looks like
only 1 out of 100 could get this.
I was thinking about you.
he takes care of himself. Most of them are so overweight. It's awful. They can't hardly walk. Their knees are shot. Their posture is bad. Oh my God, I'm looking at some right now. Some of them like really need to go to the barber shop. Oh my God, what is wrong with these elderly men? Go get your nails done. Go get your knees fixed. Get your back fixed.
Yeah, I can tell you what it is. It's because they don't have anyone in their life to kind of help them with these things. Like men sometimes are not wired that way, you know? The only reason men put their shit together at all sometimes is because they have a wife or a woman in their life that encourages them to do these things, to take care of themselves. I mean, we've all seen the memes. You ever see the meme, like the new apartment meme? You see like young guys, maybe even old guys too. I'd probably be this way, where they have like a fold out chair, their big screen television, their PlayStation on top of a box, an air mattress in the bedroom. You gotta make an honest man out of one of these dudes. Help them get their lives together, you know? Go find your diamond in the rough. Also, DBDR, she might be too much like DBDR's actual mother, but that might be what he needs. It might be what he needs, because he needs to have like his mother that will fuck him. Let's just say it.
Your hip fixed. Oh my God, I think this man's undoing his belt. A lot of them adjust themselves in public. Guys, go in the bathroom and adjust yourself. I don't see any women adjust.
Nothing gets past old Deborah. She's about to say, I don't see women adjusting themselves. Women adjust their breasts all the time. Okay? Underwear, it slips and slides. It's not always super comfortable. Sometimes you got to adjust yourself, you know? You know?
Adjusting their boobs. You know, I used to get so disgusted waiting on some of these guys. They would stand in line at Walgreens and adjust themselves. Like, it draws attention to your crotch, people. Don't do that. Oh my God. Now, I do lock my doors when I'm sitting here talking.
Oh my God. I mean, like, in fairness, I don't know what part of Maryland that she's in, but there's some sketchy Walmart parking lots. But you're during the day and the afternoon, she just saw the people that walked behind her were like just middle-aged people.
Don't do that. Oh my God. Now,
see, these guys, she spotted them in the rear view. Nothing gets by her. Nothing. They call her Deborah the Hawk.
I do lock my doors when I'm sitting here talking. So, get ready to go to Home Depot. Take back some WD-40. I already had some. The thing of it is, don't buy anything until you check your stock, because
oh my God, what an angel. What an angel. All right, we're going to watch one more video of hers. This was the one that I was setting up before. So she's still in this kind of like need for validation, kind of weird place. She probably gets a lot of comments on her videos judging her for her lifestyle. And the title of this video is I Am Not Lonely. Again, if you'd like to subscribe, I definitely got to subscribe. This is the Debbie Moore. The Debbie Moore. She does solid Zoobox numbers. My God. Well, she's gained another viewer. I can tell you that much.
Hi everyone, it's Deborah. I'm on a little trip. I am on my way to Ocean City to see my friend, the one that I go to Mexico and the Dominican with. She used to be my next door neighbor in Ocean City on 14th Street, where they're having the White Marlin this week. Yeah, you better secure that parking place, because if not, you'll have to walk a long way or pay 20 bucks, I guess. All right. So, today we're going to talk about the fact that I am not lonely. Definitely not lonely. I have probably 300 relatives. I only speak to maybe 30 of them, you know, because when my mother passed, it's like they forgot the rest of us, you know, so it's their loss, believe me. Okay. My mother was the oldest. I'm the oldest.
Wow. Oh, this lady rules. This lady rules. She is so entertaining. I know she's probably boring for you guys, but she is such a kooky character, this one.
So,
like, I'll watch this in the same way that I like watch Diane videos. Like, you can't stop watching them. It's like a car accident. It really is.
I am definitely not lonely. I have lots of friends, and I think when you get into your 60s, 50s and 60s and 70s, you better reconnect with your friends, because your lover or your spouse, whoever you're sleeping with, may not be around, but your friends are always going to be there. Okay.
It's like a Golden Girls situation, you know? Thank you for being a friend. You know, she's ready for that kind of lifestyle. That's what she wants. Get these men out of here. It's friendship time.
And just for you all to know, I think the best arrangement is when you're sleeping with a friend. Okay, and I'll tell you why. There's no commitments. There is really no expectations except maybe in the bed. Okay, all right. So yeah, sleeping with a friend, I think, is the way to go if you don't want to commit to another relationship.
Yeah, she just wants to be serviced. You don't think that would make it more complicated? I mean, maybe once you're her age, she just doesn't care anymore. She could be a cold ass bitch like Diane, right? But like, I feel like that would make things make friendships very complicated. If you're running around fucking all of your male friends, doesn't seem like a path to success. Brissinger over on Rumble says, "I'm back. Die anti Golden Girl." Yeah, exactly. She gonna have a baby at that age. I'd bang her, he says. JK. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Like I said earlier, it's a fetish.
I was in a committed relationship for 40 years, and it is a lot of hard work. Oh my God.
Yeah, especially being married to you.
I don't know if I truly believe in true love like I used to. It was very naive in the old days, very naive. My parents did not, I don't think they got any of their children ready for the real world. I tried to get my children ready for the real world, but I don't know if there is true love, because even if there is for a short time, you could fall out.
So she sucked all the romance out of her children's lives. She's like, all these stories, they're all bullshit. They're lies. Brissinger says she needs a train blown on her. She probably was smoking as a kid. Oh, she was probably attractive. I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Out of love. You could fall out of love, or something tragic can happen. Just like my brother lost his wife. She passed a couple years ago. Oh my God. I mean, you can lose the one that you do love like that. A lot of my classmates have passed. I mean, so yeah, I just don't know. Oh my God, I just passed a white Range Rover with Barbie on the side door. Oh my God, I heard that the Barbie movie is sold out.
She watches the local news. That's what she does.
The movie times all sold out. Okay, I know a lot of guys are not looking forward to it, but I guess it's a fun movie for us ladies. Whatever.
No joy to be found even in the Barbie movie. I like her little tangents, you know. She just sees something, reacts to it, lets you know how she feels about it, goes back to the point. A master vlogger, really.
Yeah, so I really think, I'm just not sure if there's such a thing as true love. I do. Yeah.
Brissinger says, well, no, at least her parents should teach kids what the opposite sex is going to expect from you or what they might do. That's kind of tough. That's a tough thing to kind of impart to people that have no life experience. But you also don't want to be a doomer about it, because then you're just kind of setting them up for failure. If you fill their heads with things that have them presuppose what they're going to experience in relationships, even if like broadly, you know, relationships can be kind of similar, that could negatively affect them. It could. It's tough, man. It's a tough balance to have to find when you have kids, like about like What is too much information? What is best learned on your own, etc.?
Yeah, I'm still in love with my ex-husband, people. Don't think that I'm not. I will always be in love with him. But
but I just couldn't be with him anymore. That's what I'm very curious who initiated the divorce. She did not say. Let me see here. Brissinger says, well, like most women want sex, most men want sex. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's a biological need. We're hardwired to do that, even just on like some very basic primal level, of course. Brissinger says, especially when these kinds of situations, etc. Well, with her and her dating life, I don't know. She's a very particular lady. She's just got a lot of boxes you got to check before you're getting into that box.
it's that reminiscent love. It's not love for today, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, we were mad.
Honestly, I feel bad for somebody like this because, you go so long. You invest 40 years in a relationship. You have kids. You have grandchildren. You have all of these things, and then that unit falls apart, Like, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to judge not knowing her life or her husband's life and what led them to that conclusion, but it's still kind of sad. It's kind of sad. It's not healthy.
Madly in love in high school. We were high school lovers. But, so that's how I feel. So you guys don't worry about me. I am definitely fulfilled in every way.
I mean, yeah, she's hanging out in Ocean City, fucking her friends. All right, well, we got one more. We're going to watch one more video. This is from Australia. It also has to do with the Cougars. Like I said, this is a kind of a new thing. I've seen it reported on a lot more these days, in the past just couple months, I suppose. I've seen a lot of news segments, a lot of things surrounding. It's kind of like right now in the zeitgeist is the AI girlfriend thing. Cougars are another part of this soup. The soup of the moment. So this is this is from 60 Minutes Australia. The name of the segment is The Sexual Revolution Normalizing Big Age Gaps. We're talking about the sexual revolution and its effects 60 years on. On the prowl. Oh my goodness. I can't wait.
Let's hear it for older women. At last, they're getting a...
And you gotta love it because it's from Australia, so it's gonna be completely like woke and very politically correct.
slice of the action. Blokes have always chased after younger women and got away with it. Now, older females are fighting for equal rights and getting them. They're called Cougars for reasons that will become obvious.
Oh my
I
God.
don't think they're just celebrities like...
Men have been getting away with this nonsense for generations. But guess what, pal? Times are a-changing. Look at this cougar. I mean, they picked a hot cougar. If you're going to pick a cougar to be your poster girl, not a bad one.
Demi Moore and Madonna. These days, more than a quarter of all Australian marriages are between older women and younger men. Add to that the older single girls who just want to...
I think some of this has to do with, like, younger men, like, really needing, like, adult mentorship or something in their life. Like, they need mommies. Like, this, like, if they're from an older generation, they kind of just look at it as... I don't know, they look at these situations as just kind of like a trophy. Like the women that date younger men, are they looking for real relationships, or are they just looking to have fun? Looking to chew these young men up and eat them and then spit them out or shit them out afterwards. It's actually this is not a very healthy dynamic.
Have fun, and you've got a real sexual revolution. As Carl Stefanovic discovered, the Cougars are out, proud, and on the prowl.
Jen and Jeff make a handsome couple on Santa Monica Beach. good looking, fit, and full of youthful energy.
I thought you were coming with us. I was gonna come with you.
Oh my god, and this fucking goober is the man on the scene. Brissinger says, on the prowl. She looks like Vice President Harry. Brissinger says, I know that they micromanage the fuck out of young bloods. Oh, you know, 100%. Because they're particular. They've lived enough life. They know exactly what they want. And if they wanted to deal with somebody that wasn't going to listen to everything they fucking said, they would date people their own age. But of course, they're going to pick like a matchup that looks like very attractive. She probably looks very good for her age. Although, I wonder, is she like she's got to be in her 40s. I'm going to assume to be a cougar, you have to be in your 40s.
How are you?
So who would guess that Jen is the older woman? And not just by a few years, but by nearly 2 decades.
Nearly 50? 50 in less than a month, couple weeks.
Nearly 50. She's pretty good looking for 50. She reminds me of, what was that actress? The actress, she was in the Command and Conquer video games. I used to have a huge thing for her. Wasn't she also on the show Sliders? King of the Ants, if you've ever seen that movie. Carrie something, or Terry something.
Weeks, 50. I know. I'm like, what? Really? 50? I'm the biggest cheerleader. Go, Jen.
Jen Brath is a twice...
Holy shit. This guy reminds me of Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if you've ever seen that show. It's like he's talking to the tranny, but she's not really a tranny. But yeah, they're picking like this 1 in a million shot woman and a guy to be representative of cougardom. Oh, let me see here. Brissinger, he disagrees. He says they worried about losing them to the void of sex. Brissinger says she is butt ugly, definitely mid. I disagree. You know what? I'm going to be gracious. I'm going to say she can get it.
Divorced mum.
A superhuman 50-year-old.
But has no problems keeping up with her super buffed boyfriend, Jeff Pickle, who at 31 is just 4 years older than her only son.
Because we're trying to get you nice and tight and defined.
Jen's proud to be known as a cougar, an older...
She's proud to be known that she's on the prowl, mate. Brissinger says, actually, she looks like a porn star. Not bad, actually. Yeah, it's so weird that now we're all so like culturally wired in our brains to be like, oh, I wonder if she has an OnlyFans. That's when we see hot women on the internet. You're like, oh, I wonder if she has an OnlyFans.
The woman sexy and savvy enough to catch and keep a much younger man.
It's not all about with an older woman and a younger man. It's not all about just the sex and then making them sort of mold them into sort of the little boy into the man.
Oh my God. She just states it. She just puts it right out there. She's like, it's not only that. Also, she doesn't have an Australian accent, so she's engaged in a little sex tourism. She's a passport bro.
I don't want to date someone that I have to be a teacher to or a mother to.
What do your mates think of Jen?
Let's put it this way. Any guy that says they haven't had a fantasy with hooking up with their friend's mom or something, their hot mom, is lying to you. So,
oh my God.
They think it's really...
These people are like cartoon characters.
cool. Some of the females are like, oh, well, I mean, she's still older, though. I mean, she can't be that good in bed. Like, it can't be the same.
It's a social phenomenon sweeping the world.
Does that bother you that I'm winning?
Here in Australia, more than a quarter of all marriages now unite an older woman with a younger man.
The pressure was too much.
Melbourne couple Alison Ewing and Scott McDonald are about to join them.
Okay.
She's 43 and he is 28.
Yes!
Did it occur?
It's like men are just turning into like, kind of woman, in a certain respect. Like, because if you look at this relationship, you're like, oh, why are you with this person? Oh, because I love her and everything, Financial stability. Brissinger says his face, she's Asian. Social phenomenon sweeping the world.
Occur to you that he was younger than you?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And did you know by how much?
No. That was quite a shock. It was after I'd already kissed him. And then he told me, and I was like, what? I thought you were at least, like, 5 years older. I was hoping.
When you found that out, were you thinking, oh, that's the end? Or were you thinking, oh, how can this work?
Definitely thought it was, like, impossible.
Oh, the reluctant cougar, the reluctant hero of our story.
Impossible. But still wanted to be around him.
Yeah, I was shocked, but because she looked about 30, so that shocked me. But I didn't really think that long down the track. We were just enjoying each other's company. So hold it like that and jump like that.
Okay.
4 years on, they're still together, but it's taken some compromise.
And you got to avoid the spiky thing.
Scott had always lived with his parents. Ali was divorced with 3 kids.
Not meant to run into it.
She was.
So he had never even moved out of his house. So he just went from one mother to another. That's exactly what this situation is. I mean, I don't know if the producers put them up to this or something, but they're sitting on the couch and she's watching him play Super Nintendo. Fucking Mario.
Wasn't on the prowl for a younger man. Love happened by chance.
Tell me how you feel about...
He has to play the Super Nintendo because that's the only kind of game she understands. Sad.
The word cougar, Ali.
I hate it.
What do you hate
Why do
about
we
it?
have to get a silly name? It's like, wow.
Ali, there's a predatorial aspect to that word, isn't there?
Yeah, why do we have to get that label?
I think it's just a bit
Silly.
of fun. I think it's just a fun word that they use to make out that girls have come so far that they can be on the hunt for men when...
Oh my God. Yeah, they sure can, pal. My mom was really heartbroken when I moved out.
Years ago, that would be crazy to consider that.
I'm Stacy. I'm 40 years old, and I am the cougar.
The Cougar.
Far from being coy about it, internationally, women have embraced the cougar revolution.
I'm into older women. That's the bottom line.
Celebrity.
It's the bottom fucking line. You're going to say celebrities, you're going to talk about Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher. That was a long time ago. And then how did that work out? Although they were together for like, what, a while? Like a decade or something? But he went back. He got in line. Now he's with Mila Kunis and he's never been happier.
These led the way, with A-list stars parading their younger trophy boyfriends.
Call me a cougar, call me an old lady. Doesn't really matter to me.
In fact, Jen even competed as an older woman on the dating show Age of Love, vying for the heart of 30-year-old Australian...
Oh, she's like she's a TV star cougar. It's not like other cougars, okay? Trying to get with this frat bro.
Toy boy Mark Philippoussis.
The body's just ridiculous.
She didn't win that love match, but she still scored her younger man.
Good morning, models.
He was a star in America's Most Smartest Model.
I found with Jeff,
America's most smartest model. Oh boy.
it's a great balance. I have a little girl still inside of me. I have the mature side, but I have the side that likes to have fun, and we call them our adventures.
I'm Captain Fun.
And he takes me on these
You
adventures.
want fun, you come to me.
Cheers to Cougars.
Cheers.
Oh my God. The Cougar Club. Holy shit. They're coming together. They're learning. They're already ahead of the game. They saw the AI girlfriend phenomenon. They saw it coming. And they're like, well, we can fulfill a niche. A niche that maybe an AI can't fulfill. We can be cougars. We can become MILFs. We can capitalize on fetishes. So in the future, within 10 years, it's going to be AI girlfriends and cougars. There's not going to be anything else. You're going to you meet a young girl that you really like. Well, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait until she matures. But good thing Good news, okay? You can practice on an AI girlfriend. Maybe these cougars can start programming these AI girlfriends so they can train these boys properly. You know, I don't want Deborah to get in a situation where somebody won't buy her a washcloth. If only the AI girlfriends had gotten to him first.
Now that the inner cougar has been unleashed, there is no holding back.
My name is Lucia, and I'm a dating and relationship expert.
It's a powerful shift in the dating jungle.
What do you find appealing about younger guys?
Definitely the physical part of it is very important.
Yeah, they're just like, they're talking about hot guys. They're not talking about, your average Joe.
And just the energy to go, go, go all night long if necessary.
These women are cougars in training, and I've got a front row seat.
I'm very scared.
Tonight, Coach Lucia will teach them some of the basic rules of dating a younger man, like don't pay on the first.
Brissinger says perennial care, 100%, colostomy bags, edema. Yeah, I got to teach them all the, the tricks, all the rules of the road.
Date.
Okay, if he can only afford McDonald's, fine. At least he's taking you somewhere.
They call you the queen of the Cougars.
Yes.
What's that about?
What the fuck are those gums about? Jesus Christ, lady. If you want to be the queen of the Cougars, let's get it together, please.
Well, I'm the top cat. I'm the top cougar. I'm the leader of the Cougar Revolution.
Well, what is the Cougar Revolution?
It is attractive, sophisticated women over 40 who exclusively date younger men.
And do they do that in a cougar-like fashion? Is that how it's done these days?
No. That is the myth, that these cougars are on the prowl for these younger guys, but actually it's usually the other way around. It's usually the younger guys that are hunting.
Yes. No, are you fucking surprised about this? Do you know what porno does to people's fucking brains? Every single fucking porn. If you go to like Pornhub or something like that, all of the most popular videos, all the recommended videos all have to do with like stepmoms and grandpa, all sorts of shit like that. So there's tons of men who definitely have been rewired to be into MILF porn. Who's that? There's a few famous MILF porn actresses. I'm trying. Their names are escaping me. I'm not an expert in porn, but yeah, I'm sure it's had some sort of effect. And now there's lots of young guys with a fetish and a need for a mommy.
The Cougars.
Did you hunt, Scotty?
No, not at all.
So, Scotty, you did the hunting.
Yeah, I was a cougar.
Brissinger knows. He says Lisa Ann. That's right. That's exactly who I was thinking of.
Is there male cougars? Cougar's not a female, is it? I'm sure there's both sexes of cougars.
Most of Scott and Ali's friends have accepted their relationship.
You've known him for a long time. Did you ever think that Scott would end up with someone who was a little older?
No, it kind of came out of the blue, but I think that's why it's worked. Often the best things are unexpected. And no, he never had desires or fetishes to be with an older woman.
Except he kind of did. Maybe he just kept some things to himself, How good of a friend are you really?
For this generation, the social stigma of being the older woman is long gone.
Is it hard?
I want to be this journalist. He seems like he's just hanging out with people, having drinks, gets to go to social engagements. That's what he had to do for this job. Hanging out with cougars. He's like, I would consider it, mate.
Hard to find a bloke out there these days?
I've got one and he's 6 years younger.
You're a baby cougar.
I'm not that young.
And why not? Men have always got away with dating younger women.
It's not taboo.
I love that the framing of this is like, it's just their time. Men have done this for a long time. Now it's women's turn. Yeah, men have done that for a long time. There's lots of reasons for that. Part of it is propagating the species. Older men are more viable in that way longer than older women. It's not fair, but it is what it is. Big Tom says it's all either getting fucked by stepmom or older people fucking younger people in front of their husband or wife watching. Yeah, cuck porn. That's also another thing that's happening. Brissinger says straight up bullshit. The stigma has not gone underground.
All for an older guy and younger woman. But then why is it so taboo the other way around, you know? And it's really interesting to me that what a cougar standed for back then has changed so much since that term, you know?
Yeah, it'll always be outside the norm because most people end up dating or marrying people like around their age, like the average people do. I know sometimes older guys marry younger girls, usually like a decade or something like that, but it's always going to be outside the norm, and it's always going to be notable because of that. Like, that's just something you have to accept. But most of the time, I don't think, like, if nobody made a thing about it, I don't know, would anybody even give a shit? Would anybody care? Brissinger says, oh, I thought that was Big Paul for a second. It does look like him a little bit. He's the better model. This guy's probably AI. You know what I mean?
Was conceived. I mean, now it's almost cooler to be in a cougar relationship.
Why do you think it is that they have decided to go with a younger bloke?
It's generally the less baggage. Absolutely. And he's not complaining about, oh, my back.
Yeah, less baggage. They don't have physical ailments. They haven't lived a life of trauma. They haven't had anything happen to them. They're kind of idiots and they're empty vessels, and we can kind of just do whatever we want. We can kind of use and abuse them and then throw them away, and nobody cares because they're young. We don't have to consider the feelings and emotions of young men. They just want to coom. He literally said standed for. It's stood for. Oh yeah, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Remember, he was like a host or on a show called The World's Smartest Models or something like that.
Oh, my indigestion.
So I'm really worried about the older blokes. What happens to them now?
You know, it's been the other way around for so long. You know, the older guys dating the younger women and women over 40 generally being forgotten about. So now things are turning.
She's like, you know, honestly, I hope they all commit suicide. Get out of the way, older men. Brissinger says, I bet this is all fake. No, I believe this is real. There's always weird little subcultures and pockets. Like, the way they're presenting it is in a way to try to normalize it and act like it's more of a thing than it actually is. But it probably is a thing. It's just very niche. It's always going to be that way. Like, nobody's going to normalize this. Like I said, at some point, I mean, unless people get really rewired in some very fundamental ways in terms of their primal nature, which is like wanting to spread your seed, have a child, you're not going to be able to achieve that with older women. Brissinger says that is exactly what she is saying.
Payback.
That's right.
The tables are certainly turning.
Here, let me show you a bunch of pictures of famous people. Famous people that oftentimes have access to things and live on the edge. It doesn't mean it's a good prescription for a normal person. There are people that just have personality types that can deal with these things and like these kinds of dynamics. But most people don't. And acting like it's something that anybody could or should do is not healthy, I think. I don't think for society it's very healthy. Big Tom says, Stifler's mom started a revolution. She was a pioneer. Listen, all references available at louderwithcrowder.com. She really was. She really started something back there, you know?
Those big age gaps are no longer just for the boys. Meet Anna Drucker and Alexander Merman. She's 56 and he's just 25.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, not a fetish or anything weird at all. Brissinger says, I want to see Durian Ryder do a hot take on this. Actually, you know what? I do have access to his private messages I could send him. I should shoot him this video and just with the caption, explain this to me, Durian. What is going on in your country?
A difference of 31 years.
Yeah, sometimes there are days when I say, wow, you know, he's attracted to me. That's, you know, it sometimes boggles the mind. But nonetheless, Yeah.
she's just gonna have this like sense of insecurity that just runs through her for the entire time that they're together. She can't shake it. Why? Every day asking him why? I don't know. It just makes me horny.
Yeah, it's there. I'm almost in. It's still loading the world. So
Anna and Alexander found each other in the virtual world, playing an online game
Oh my God, they're a Second Life couple.
called Second Life.
Actually, I think you're Sarah Palin here.
Oh my God.
They met in person 2 years ago, and despite the age gap of 3 decades,
I'm gonna have to take those glasses off.
there was instant chemistry.
Yeah, and we immediately,
You find this introverted nerd guy who's, passively attractive dude. Maybe he has very low self-esteem, doesn't have much of a social life, a real IRL social life because he's, spends all of his time developing relationships in Second Life. And she was able to just like kind of take advantage of that, I suppose. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that she even did it consciously, but that's kind of what the situation probably actually is. I'm doing a little mind reading here, but I don't think I'm that far off, whether it's intentional or not. Big Tom says either that or he wants a sugar mama. This is true too. I think financial stability for a lot of these dudes could be a motivating factor. They've at least that one guy, he hadn't never lived out of his parents' house. I'm not even knocking him for that, but he just never had. So he just moved directly in with something that is obviously a stand-in for his mother, except he gets to fuck her. Brissinger says, a little mind-boggling, never hurt anybody. He literally just said Sarah Palin. Lisa Ann did a porno called Nailin' Palin. I think I've seen that, actually. Brissinger says, this is a complete false flag.
hold hands, went to the car, where we then, actually like 2 minutes after we met, immediately kissed.
Yeah.
There was an immediate physical attraction. You felt as if you knew each other really well straight away.
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
I can.
Do you find
It's the power of Second Life, my friend.
on the streets that people notice your age difference at all?
No, I don't think so.
Well, sometimes I do.
Do you?
In fact, Anna has a son 10 years older than her lover and has on occasion been mistaken for Alexander's mother.
I mean, I'm older than his mother.
Yeah, about half a year. So it's not a lot.
You're older than his mum.
Yeah.
But, right to begin
How
with,
old,
I didn't know
how old is your boy?
34.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's my age.
Well, dude, look at him. He's getting close. He's like moving in on this nerd's territory. He's asserting himself. He's like, oh, really? Interesting. Tell me more. Tell me more about this age gap and these preferences while he viciously gyrates his crotch in her direction.
There you go.
Yeah.
I will put all of my bad Mrs. Robinson jokes aside and get on to business.
Back in Australia, the movement is gaining momentum.
The movement is gaining momentum. This is like when you watch like those documentaries about like weird exclusive like sex clubs or stuff like that, like or swingers things. Like if you ever watch a documentary about swingers, they're always asserting those kinds of things. Well, the community has never been bigger than it was ever before in history. Things are really looking up in the world of whatever insert fetish, insert activity. Big Tom says, moms don't do it for him. He's horny for Granny. Listen, it is what it is.
Monday is Cougar Night at this matchmaking party run by Fast Impressions.
What is it about the older lady that appeals to you?
Oh, the sound just disappeared. What the hell? Did it disappear for you guys? Disappeared for me. Okay.
Relationship.
Sometimes.
Pre-date on 10.
The older lady that appeals to you.
The sound drops off in the video. What the hell?
They're rather carefree. They're certainly energetic and willing
Yes.
Willing?
Willing. They are horny toads. Sometimes I like just having the screws put to me, mate.
2.
So it's a trivia night, plus you've got to dress up as a rock star.
It all sounds like a lot of fun. But when your partner is over a decade younger, the advancing years are a major concern.
Do you feel at all pressured to keep looking younger or as young
Definitely
as
the
you can?
pressure is on, yes.
So
But I'm not going to let it, like, rule me. I refuse to.
Yeah, seems like you're gonna do just fine. Well, like a prison of your own design. You don't have to. I mean, just I think this is your mind telling you that this is a mistake.
Because that would just defeat the whole purpose of being in a relationship where you're happy and relaxed. So I'm not going to let that take over.
I love the way you treat me.
For Anna and Alexander, it's even more confronting. When he's 39, she'll be 70.
Like 20 years when I'm not around. I hope that he has a fabulous relationship where he gets married and has children and will.
Oh my God! So she's creating one of these older men that's gonna have to go and look for a younger woman. The scourge of the cougar community. They're creating their own problems. Yikes.
Be able to say that this was a marvelous time that we had together.
Yeah, I don't like this your next wife talk stuff. I don't like thinking about the time when she will be gone.
Yeah, see, that's what
If
age
the time
does
will
for
ever
you.
come.
And aging presents another challenge for these couples. The cougar generation of women have had their children. Their younger partners still hope for a family of their own.
I'm not gonna lie, it would be disappointing if we found out biologically she can't have children and we can't have our own. But as far as the future, from here it looks rather bright. Putting my shades on right now.
He's like, oh my God, they're so fake. They're so phony. Oh, it's awful. It's awful. He's like, well, whatever. I'll just find somebody my age and, they could be a surrogate. And I'll totally, but I'm going to have to do it myself, okay? I'm going to have to do it myself.
Would you like to have your own kids?
Maybe. We've considered it, but we'll see.
Are you
No, that's a no. That's a no. He's just like, no, they might take my video games.
trying to do that right now?
We're just going to see how it goes.
You're in it for the long haul?
Yep. That's
Yeah, they've been together for about 4 weeks, so yeah, I think so, buddy.
the plan.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Nick McKenzie. Thanks for watching 60.
I thought he was going to come on and apologize to me. Big Tom says, I know what I'm doing tomorrow. Going to head the bingo at the senior center to pick up chicks. Listen, that's what's going on. The trend, it's never been bigger. The time is now. Get on this cougar train. Head to Cougarville.
Aimlessly traipsing the Garden of Eden, hitchhiking hand is all thumbs. Careless and camouflage, cool as chameleons. Let the boogeyman come.